Hi to all the pretty queens in the world. How's everyone doing tonight? I hope everyone's doing well. I have a message for you today. So, my question for you tonight is: does your man really love you? A good way to figure out if your boyfriend slash man really loves you is if does he show you love and affection? Does he use the "I love you" words? Does he take you out in public? Does he tell you he cares about you? Does he introduce you to his family? Does his mother know you? Does his siblings know who you are? He's calling you his girlfriend, right? So these are just the basics, right? Um, does he buy you gifts? Does he look out for you? Does he open doors for you? Is he really there for you? Okay? All of these things are very, very important, okay? Because I see a lot of females out here that claim they have these boyfriends, but their boyfriends aren't doing half the things I just mentioned, right? And then they think it's a flex to have a boyfriend, but when your boyfriend's not doing any of the things I just mentioned and doesn't even care about you, it's not going to be a flex when he breaks up with you in a couple of months and your heart is broken and you're going through depression, you're stressing out, your hair is falling out. Like, I'm gonna give you some advice on how to avoid these temporary boyfriends and flings out here, okay? First of all, you need to make sure the next man that you pick to be your boyfriend has these qualities and that he is also really efficient when it comes to having his emotions being heard and displaying his emotions for you, okay? And him having loyalty is a biggie because that's going to make the relationship last. So when you're choosing out here, please be mindful that most men are just trying to seek women out for pleasure and ego boosting, okay? What I mean by this is a man may see a pretty woman and he'll look at her as an object and he'll have a goal in mind to use her, okay? He in his mind is trying to get to the top of the hill. Like, he's been watching these Instagrams, he's been watching YouTube about these other men that have it all, but these men are richer than him, right? So he's gonna go after the pretty women because guess what? Pretty women can get rich men, right? But he's gonna go after pretty women so he can feel like he's that rich man, even though he's not that rich man, right? And he will pretend to have money. He will pretend to be all these things just to get sex out of the pretty woman. And once she realizes that he's not who he says he is, that's when it's time for him to go, and he knows that. So he has to move on and find his next supply because he's only using the woman as an ego boost and energy to get to the next level in his life, right? And he's been socially programmed to go for the prettiest woman, which the prettiest woman will probably not want him because she's already at the top of the food chain, probably with the richest guy, right? So what he's trying to obtain will never be filled. So in the end, he's going to end up running through all of these women and he's going to realize that he should have just settled down with one because now he has none, right? So ladies, to avoid these kinds of men, make sure you ask the right questions up front before he becomes your boyfriend. Make sure you are asking him, does he have issues displaying his emotions? Does he use the "I love you" word often? Tell him what you expect and see if he answers those questions correctly for you. If he does not answer those questions correctly for you, he's not the one. And to save yourself heartache, just let him go off into the space that he was in already. Okay. Because we have, as women, we have to stop being so naive with men. These men, we've made it too easy for them. We need to make it hard. We need to become the trophy. We need to become, you know, the unattainable. We have to become that, because what I'm seeing this day and age is not looking too good for the women. Okay? We need to become more than enough. Like, we gotta be something that they are working hard for. Like when they go to their jobs and they're working hard for money, yeah, we have to become that, pretty much. So how can we do that? We have to have self validation, self love. We must love ourselves more than we love them, okay? And what I mean by this is, we love ourselves so much that we are waiting for the right man to come into our lives, something that we actually want, and not just settling for the first thing that comes up to us, okay? Or for not just settling for the piece of crap of a man that we are being fed, okay? Yeah. If it takes a couple of years, hey, it takes a couple of years. But guess what? You're not wasting your time with a man that doesn't even love you, or wasting your time with a man that's just using you, and you're not stressed. Like, you're living your best life, and you're working on yourself. So it's okay to go without a man for for some time. It's okay. I know you've been taught that you need a man by your side, but that's not true. Like, you just need to take your time and find the right one. And that's what the problem is. All the women are out here picking the wrong men and just hopping into relationships, not knowing what they're getting themselves to. And a lot of women are getting unalived, they're getting abused, and they're getting victimized, all because they settled for less than what they should have. So my message for women tonight is to analyze their relationships. Does their man really love them? Does he have loyalty for them? If he doesn't have those two things, then you're with the wrong man and you need to leave him. All right. Thank you for listening, and subscribe, and have a great one. Goodbye.